Good evening and welcome to FSC TV. I'm Kate Murphy.
And I'm Andrew Pauling. Tonight on FSC TV, coronavirus impacts Florida Southern, men's basketball wins SSC tournament, and 2 black swans struck by cars.
From Studio A on the campus of Florida Southern College, this is FSC TV.
The World Health Organization on Wednesday declared the COVID-19 virus outbreak a global pandemic, saying in a release, quote, "We have never before seen a pandemic sparked by a coronavirus, and we have never before seen a pandemic that can be controlled at the same time," end quote. The virus continues to spread across the United States, with 938 confirmed cases, resulting in 29 deaths. According to the Florida Department of Health, 23 people are known to have been infected in the state, with 2 deaths. Of those tests taken within the state, over 200 have been cleared, and fewer than 100 are pending completion. So far, there are no confirmed cases in Polk County.
Florida Southern College took precautionary measures over the past few weeks and has canceled travel for student groups for the remainder of the semester. This cancellation included all spring break and May junior journeys. Florida Southern Provost Dr. Brad Hollingshed said on Tuesday at Town Hall that the college is currently looking at alternative domestic options for students impacted by these cancellations. The athletic department has closed all home sporting events to the public starting today. The release said, quote, "This response is in direct relation to COVID-19, the coronavirus, and stands until the situation becomes clearer. Included in this decision is the 2020 NCAA Men's Basketball South Regional being held in the Jenkins Fieldhouse beginning on Saturday, March 14th, end quote.
Out of an abundance of caution, the college has postponed the 2020 Founders Day and Homecoming Weekend events. This rescheduling includes Founders Day Convocation and Lunch and the 50th Reunion events on Friday, March 20th, as well as all homecoming events on Saturday, March 21st. This also includes events hosted by the Association for Campus Entertainment. The college has also taken precautions by ordering additional disinfecting cleaning supplies to be used across campus buildings, including residence halls, instructing custodial staff to focus on cleaning common area surfaces such as shared tabletops and doorknobs, posting hygiene reminders and informational flyers across campus, and limiting all non-essential travel.
At this point, commencement exercises scheduled for May 2nd are unchanged. The Center for Disease Control explained the best way to avoid the coronavirus is to avoid touching your face with your hands and wash your hands often. They also advise not using a face mask unless you are sick due to the shortage health professionals are facing.
On Tuesday evening inside the Hollis Room, the Student Government Association held its semesterly town hall where members of the Florida Southern Cabinet came together to answer questions from the student body. Over 45 questions were asked during the hour-long event, and one of the big issues of the night was housing. The housing process has changed over the years, with this year's biggest changes including the addition of the Star Apartments, the removal of single-dwelling houses, and a new determination process for housing lottery numbers. Dean of Students Mike Crawford explained that students received housing numbers based off their grade point average and the number of credits earned at Florida Southern. Numbers were computer-generated by the IT department.
Starting this fall, underclassmen students will no longer be able to live in the college-owned single-family houses. Vice President of Students Dr. Susan Freeman said that, quote, "When we created the Star Apartments, it was under the agreement that students were to be moved out of houses," end quote. Vice President of Administration Terry Dennis also added in that they want students to be a part of the Florida Southern community, which means living in residence communities. Also announced at Town Hall was that starting with the class of 2020, students will not be able to homestead once they move into apartments.
Moving to the other side of campus, a ceremonial groundbreaking took place on Tuesday for the middle school expansion of the Roberts Academy. The building is located on the southwest corner of Frank Lloyd Wright Way and Hollingsworth Road. Once built, the 22,000 square foot building will include state-of-the-art labs, 9 classrooms, and a cafeteria. The Roberts Academy is the first transitional school for children with dyslexia in Florida, and when completed, the middle school will accommodate around 140 students in grades 6 through 8.
Men's basketball, who are currently on a 17-game win streak, are set to host the South Regional Tournament this Saturday through Tuesday. The Mocs will play in a 5 p.m. contest on Saturday against the 8th-seeded Miles College. Women's basketball has traveled to Cleveland, Tennessee for the Women's South Regional Tournament, where they will play the 2nd-seeded Union tomorrow at 2:30. The Mocs going into that tournament in the 7th seed. Women's lacrosse goalie Brittany Emale was named the IWCLA Striking National Defensive Player of the Week for her effort against then number 6 Regis College last week. In baseball news, Jacob Teeter and Alan Burnstead are tied for the conference lead with 7 home runs each, as the Mocs offense scored 6 or more runs in all 5 games over spring break. Softball head coach Chris Bellato announced that she will retire at the end of the season and is handing the reins over to assistant coach Mo Triner. Men's tennis is on a 9-match win streak, while the women have won their last 5 contests. For all things Florida Southern athletics, watch the Snake Bite every Wednesday at 3 right here on FSC TV.
State House legislatures in Tallahassee declared the bill that was set to merge 2 Florida universities dead this past weekend. We initially brought you this story in early February. The original version of the bill was later amended to propose both institutional bodies, Florida Polytechnic University and New College, be merged into the University of Florida system over financial concerns. Senate President Bill Galvano of Bradenton supported the idea, saying, quote, "I've always been a protector of New College. I think it adds value to our community. But if there are systemic problems with the university, I would rather discuss them now," end quote.
The death of 2 black swans since late February along Lakes Morton and Mirror has drawn attention to growing safety concerns among city officials. The first swan, struck on the evening of February 26th, was crossing the road in front of the Lakeland Public Library. 3 days later, the second was hit in front of one of Lakeland's newest venues, the Joinery. City officials have noted an increase in speed and traffic volume since the location's opening. As a response, LPD has increased their presence in the area and plan to issue a public announcement aimed at addressing distracted driving and speeding in the upcoming weeks.
Amid oil disagreements and the coronavirus, the American economy is taking a hit. 2 stock market indexes, the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the S&P 500, have rapidly dropped through the week. The Dow dropped nearly 7.85%, the largest single-day drop since 2008, when it dropped by 7%. Within the past week, the Dow has dropped over 3,000 points and the S&P has dropped by nearly 335 points as of closing yesterday evening. The coronavirus pandemic shut down nearly all businesses in Italy and influenced President Trump to ban travel and products from Europe, excluding Great Britain. Meanwhile, a potential price war between Saudi Arabia and Russia lowered gas prices, but also lowered stocks for oil. These 2 influences have heavily destabilized the stock market and caused many stocks to plummet. Mark Zandi, chief economist for Moody's Analytics, told the New York Times, quote, "If the Trump administration and Congress can't get it together quickly and put together a sizable and responsible package, then a recession seems like a real possibility here," end quote.
The past 2 weeks have seen a drastic shift in the presidential primary race. The Democratic Party field has been dwindled down to a 2-person race between Senator Bernie Sanders and former Vice President Joe Biden. On Super Tuesday, Biden picked up 10 of the 14 states, while Sanders picked up the remaining 4. On Tuesday's primaries, Biden won Michigan, Idaho, Missouri, and Mississippi, while Sanders won North Dakota. Biden is leading nationally with 864 delegates, while Sanders follows behind with 710 delegates. On Tuesday, the 17th, Arizona, Florida, Illinois, and Iowa will hold their primaries. Georgia will hold its primary on Tuesday, the 24th. And that's your news for this week. We'll be back with you guys next Thursday at 5 on FSC TV. I'm Andrew Pauling.
And I'm Kate Murphy. Until then, you can follow us on Twitter at TV_FSC or on Facebook at FSC TV.